welcome to the reveal of the newest solar car from the Brunel solar team. My name is Valerie Kleeman, and I have the honor to welcome you and to take you on a journey full of innovation, passion, and dedication that our team has shown for the past month. Today, we are proud to present our Nuna 12S. Not only is this car a product of hard work, but also of collaboration and innovation. Every component, from the aerodynamics to the advanced solar panel, has been carefully designed and manufactured to push the limits. Everything revolves around our mission, to inspire in the field of sustainable mobility. I would now like to give the floor to Cato and Torben to tell you more about the Sasol Solar Challenge, and enjoy the show.
In exactly 3 months, our solar car will cover more than 4,000 kilometers along a completely new route through the Kalahari Desert. For the past few months, we've been working on this project together, and today we'll take you on the journey. Our journey started 10 months ago, when we got together with the whole team for the first time. 11 engineering students and then still complete strangers to each other. We were carefully selected to build a solar car, Nuna 12S. I still remember the healthy tensions and the questions swirling around in my head. What if it's going to be awkward, and what if it all doesn't work out? Luckily, none of that even became true. 25 years ago, the first team preceded us in building the first solar car. It was prompted by a movie the students watched and the urge to show what is possible in the field of sustainable innovation. A vision that Wubbo Okkels, our former team coach, but also the first Dutch astronaut and professor at the TU Delft, strongly endorsed. He told us time and time again how important the Earth is and how well we should take care of it. These stories still resonate within all the Nuna years. And we still try to inspire students, companies, and all people in this field. Similarly, like how it was done 25 years ago, we started forming our team. Who is Nuna 12S? Where do we stand for? What do we want to achieve, and how do we take Nuna to the next level? It soon became clear that this group was hugely driven. I've seen few groups as competitive as this one. And so our goal had to be not to shy away from challenges, to demand the utmost of ourselves, to take on risks, don't strive for good, but always strive for better. And here we are at our own car reveal, just a few months before our race begins. I'm sure I wouldn't have wanted to do this with any other people, and so I'm very honored to introduce them to you. My name is Cato, and I'm the team leader of this team, and next to me is Torben, our technical manager. Together, we form the management of Nuna 12S. Our marketing team consists of Huub, Evelien, and Valerie. Thijs is responsible for the software, and Sterre is our strategist. Additionally, we have Willem and Mark, our electrical engineers, and last but not least, Mart and Daan, our mechanical engineers. Fueled by the motivation to win this title for the 5th time, we started working long evenings at the office, endured 80-hour work weeks, only to start again each morning at 8:45. Our days were filled with a lot of brainstorming sessions, rigorous testing, and numerous of adjustments. Throughout this process, we became a close-knit group of friends and underwent multiple trainings, efficient teamwork, some of which were memorably led by our current team coach, Mark Lammers. But however, when work is done under pressure, tension can also run high. Firm feedback and hard discussions are sometimes needed to work efficient and to get the most out of everybody. In the last few months, I've seen this group of friends transform to a high-performing racing team. And that is something very special to be a part of. In some parts, I can say that Nuna is a bit similar to our team. She is quite fragile, in some ways only made of a thin layer of carbon. But that is also very powerful. And that is what I have come to see in my team. Daring to be vulnerable, knowing your strengths and your weaknesses, and precisely because of that, radiating strength as a team. Daring to take risks, because you know what you have in common and where you want to go together. And this all to make it worth in our race.
But this race is not like any other. We will drive for 8 days long, more than 4,000 kilometers. Imagine traversing vast plains, crossing breathtaking mountain passes, or navigating vibrant cities. This is the Cecil Solar Challenge 2024, a race for which we have been preparing for over 400 days. While many might be familiar with the Bridgestone World Solar Challenge, the famous solar race in Australia, this race in South Africa presents its own unique set of challenges. To understand how this race works, let's dive straight into the first day of the race, when we will drive from Secunda to Saselburg, covering a distance of 324 kilometers. Although the start and end point of the day is fixed, there's an opportunity to accumulate more kilometers by driving loops along the route. Each day in the race has its own loop with a specific length, and these lengths range between 20 and 40 kilometers. Determining the number of times to drive the loop depends on strategic calculations based on factors like the wind, sunlight, elevation changes, and ensuring we reach the end goal in time. These calculations, done by our strategists, often extend later to the night and are frequently adjusted right on the spot given the unpredictability of the South African weather. However, our strategy encompasses more than just one day. Zooming out to the entire race of 8 days long, our strategists try to maximize the total number of kilometers driven over the entire race. Because the team with the most kilometers driven when they cross the finish line in Cape Town wins the Cecil Solar Challenge. The observant viewer might have noticed that there's a gap at the end of the race on day 7, close to the finish line. On this day, the team faces an additional challenge, known as the blind stage. Because the route of this day remains a mystery, only to be revealed the evening beforehand. Thus, making it even harder for the team to come up with the winning strategy for the entire race. So on the technical side, we must adapt Nuna to these extreme conditions while innovating to stay ahead of the competition. Given with limited time, we are compelled to be selective about the projects we undertake. Given the high elevation profiles in our race, as can be seen in this graph over the entire race, one project stood out with a clear priority: designing our own electrical motor tailored to these conditions. Later in this presentation, Mart will proudly present you how we designed and produced our motor and also the end result. As has become clear, from Johannesburg to Cape Town, our team and our car will be pushed to their absolute limits. Our solar car Nuna will encounter more elevation changes than ever before and will cross the harsh and dry Kalahari Desert. These extreme conditions present a unique challenge that we couldn't fully anticipate at the beginning of our year. In fact, I think we won't know the full extent of these trials until we're in the midst of our race. Luckily, we're supported by a crew of experienced alumni who will guide us towards the race, in the race, and hopefully to victory again this September in South Africa. The two of the most experienced of our alumni are photographers, Jorrit Lausberg and Hans-Peter van Veldhoven. Hans-Peter, also known as HP, has been with us since the first Nuna, joined the race since the second Nuna, and has seen it all throughout the years. He always managed to capture the team in a stunning way, and would now like to invite him to the stage to share some of his stories from the past years.
My name is Hans Peter, and well, for a lot of people here, I'm HP or HP. First of all, I want to tell you that the pictures you see on the back are exactly telling the things I want to tell you about in this story. Since 2000, I'm involved as a photographer in this beautiful solar team. And in those 24 years, next year is 25, I've witnessed many, many ups and downs. As a photographer, you get to capture these emotions. And that is something that I always felt as a privilege, because it can never be taken for granted, just to take every picture, just grab every picture. No, it's something that has been given to you. And with the car reveal of the Nuna 12S, we are facing a brand new adventure, participating in the South African Solar Challenge 2024. An adventure that began in 2014, 10 years ago. And 2014 was a special year. Not only was it the first time we participated in an African Solar Challenge, but also it was the year that we had to say goodbye to Wibble Ockels. Wibble was not only a technical encyclopedia where you could go to and ask questions and you would answer them like a machine or something. No, Wibble was much more than that. If there was problems, like for example with the organization, Wibble always managed to create an interpretation that suddenly gave a different meaning and to certain things. For example, he led many discussions about technical problems that were transformed into solutions. And that talent, to this day, we still miss. But when you miss something, or rather, when something is no longer there, is it gone? I personally don't think so. In my opinion, all challenges are still written within the spirit of Wibble. Namely, you learn how to translate his approach, his words, his interpretation to yourself, and through which eventually find his being in yourself. And I think this is the ultimate way to make Wibble's rich heritage yours. And when we are at the start of the South Solar Challenge in September, we will be there as a reigning champion. Not once, not twice. No, we have won all the African Solar Challenges where we participated in. That is, of course, an incredible achievement. And without putting too much pressure on the brand new team, I would like to mention that we are dealing with the most successful solar team in the world. I think that's worth an applause, is it? The road to South Africa is still a long one. Things can change up to even a second before the start. And the flexibility is one of the strengths you have to find in yourself. Right now, here still is a design team, a development team. But as the days gets closer, and the team will have to be transformed into a race team. And that is a huge task. Unfortunately, it's not an impossible task, because when you're the most successful solar team in the world, I think you have some experience with that. And I look at some old team members who exactly know what I mean. Once we arrive in South Africa and turn into the Nuna race team, the real testing starts. And now everybody's thinking, we're going to test the car. But honestly, it will be your own self-testing, which is the most important thing at that time. At the end of a race day, and this is the African team members know exactly what I mean right now. At the end of a race team, when you are standing at the finish and dancing on the beats of the monkey dance, you realize to yourself that transformation has gone well. You are free in your mind. Because when you're not free in your mind, you're not capable of things that, when you're free in your mind, you're capable of much more. And these things I get to capture as a photographer. And now you understand why this feels like a privilege. A privilege that I transform into images. An unforgettable visual document. Thank you.
ago, Nuna 11 participated in the Moroccan Solar Challenge. Nuna 11 was supposed to race in Australia, so therefore it wasn't built for the steep Moroccan mountains that you see right here. Especially the motor was having a lot of trouble, and therefore it led to an overheating motor during some spots. Next year, Nuna 11S was supposed to race in South Africa, just like us. Because of the hilly landscape, as you see right here, the fear of an overheating motor was very present, and therefore the team decided to start the development of their own new motor. The next year, the development continued until Nuna 12. The concept of the motor seemed very promising, but despite the efforts of Nuna 12, 11S, and many experts, the motor unfortunately never got able to run due to technical problems. Fast forward to September 2023. The story came to us, Nuna 12S. The conclusion was that the V1 motor was never going to be able to run, but because of the high reward possibility, especially for us in South Africa, we decided as a team to start over. A new motor, but the same concept. This concept is very revolutionary. Instead of a regular motor with one magnet ring, we use two, and it's called a dual air gap motor. This means that the motor is energy denser. We can get more energy out of a lighter motor, and therefore that leads to less energy usage, and so we can drive more South African kilometers. The first step with this new motor, but same concept, was a new expert. This became Dr. Simon Mondelge, the CEO of GEM Motors. He brought to us a lot of experience and knowledge to the team, and therefore he was very essential to the team regarding assistance in the electromagnetic design. Furthermore, we improved the magnet design of the V2 motor. Matthew Swallow from Bunting Magnetics has been a great help to us with selecting the magnet shapes, types, but especially mounting methods. Finally, as a team, we needed experts on the practical side of the motor. This is where Cor and Evert from Facta come in. They have a lot of experience in the field, and after all, as students, never really got to build our motor ourselves, so they were of great value in the development of our team. Redesigning and rebuilding our already innovative concept also gave us a chance to improve the materials of our motor, and therefore we made our innovative concept even more innovative with better and more efficient materials. As of right now, we're currently in the testing phase. We're testing our very own built motor to optimize the performance of the motor for our race in South Africa. With that being said, we as a team, Nuna 12S, would love to present to you our newly designed motor. This motor will make us drive more efficiently, faster and lighter through the beautiful landscapes of South Africa, and all that on the same income of the sun. And this makes a beautiful bridge to Mark, one of our electrical engineers. Mark is going to tell you more about the most visible part of our car, namely the solar panel.
Yes, thank you, Mark, for this introduction. You see, something we always try to innovate upon is our solar panel. It is our only source of energy because it allows us to harvest the energy of the sun, an eternal and sustainable energy source. It allows us to drive long races without the use of any fuel, and there we place extremely high demands upon our solar panel. This means that it's quite different from the solar panel that you will find up on your roof. For example, our solar panels need to be flexible. You see, behind me, you can see an outline of the shape of our car, Nuna 12S. You can see that it has a very particular aerodynamic shape, which our aerodynamics engineers have spent long days and nights innovating. Our solar panel needs to accommodate these curves, and therefore, we use high-end flexible materials to make our solar panel. However, even these high-end materials have their limitations. For example, the laws of physics demand that we can only bend our solar panel in one direction, not two at the same time. And I'll show you this with a paper sheet. And in fact, you all have a paper sheet found on your seat, and you can follow the experiment along if you like. You see, with this simple paper sheet, Mart can bend it in a single direction and in the other direction. But let's see what happens if he tries to bend it in two directions at the same time. It will crack, it will wobble, and it simply won't allow it. You won't find a nice smooth curve in two directions with a paper sheet and also in your solar panel. If I tried to bend my solar panel in two directions, just like Mark did, my solar panel would most definitely break, and we would lose a lot of energy. This is unacceptable, and therefore, we make sure that we only bend our solar panel in a single direction and treat it extremely carefully. But there's a little more special to our solar panel. And to explain this to you, please look at the picture behind me. Where you see a beautiful sunset, I see a problem. Namely, the reflections upon the water. You see, when the sun is low in the sky, naturally, flat surfaces will exhibit large reflections from the sun. Not only the sea, but also our solar panel, meaning we will lose light to our solar cells. How do we prevent this? Well, the front sheet of our solar panel looks like this. It looks like the picture to my left. A normal glass solar panel to my right will have a flat surface, but our solar panel will have a surface which is not flat anymore because the surface contains a very small microstructure of tiny pyramids. These tiny pyramids break the flat surface of the solar panel, meaning that light, instead of being reflected if the sun is low, will be guided into our solar panel. And this means that also in the evening, when light incomes are low, we take all the energy of the sun into our solar panel, and we can keep driving at fast speeds, therefore pushing the limits of solar racing. And we do more to harvest all the energy of the sun that we can. A common issue in solar panels is that one underperforming cell can limit the performance of all the other cells in the solar panel. And this happens more often than you think. For example, when one cell is in the shade, as shown behind me. In such a case, it would be better to exclude some shaded cells from working in the solar panel, such that the other cells are not limited. How do we do this? We do this by creating bypass cables underneath our solar panel. Here you can see what the bottom of our solar panel will look like this year. These bypass cables, they will allow the electricity to flow through the cable instead of the cell. And this effectively disables the cell from working in the solar panel, such that it does not hinder the other cells anymore. And this is what it looked like this year. But during previous years, it looked like this. This year, we are trying to innovate our solar panel such that the bypass cables will be shorter and more organized, thus adding reliability and lightweight to our solar panel. And both are much needed to conquer the harsh conditions and steep mountains of South Africa. I hope that today I've illustrated to you that we do everything we can to incorporate the most innovative technologies into our solar panel. But how do we make a choice? We need to end up with the best solar panel possible, and how do we test which is the best solar technology? Luckily, we have a valued partner for this. And the best thing is, this partner was founded by the team leader of Nuna 4. That's the Nuna from 2007. Which is why I am pleased to come to the stage Stefan Roest, team leader Nuna 4 and chief technology officer of Eternal Sun.
I'm Stefan, nice to meet you. Thank you, Mark. It was great to work together again to be sure about solar, being sure about that output of those solar panels that are so critical for the solar cars, but also for PV power plants around the world. It summarizes a bit my journey, adventure after my solar car race in 2007. Because that was me proudly wearing the same shirt with Nuna 4 and in Australia, in the Outback. During our race in 2007, we had to sit upright for the first time. That was completely new. And back then, we had 6 square meters of space solar cells, so a lot of power to our disposal. And that meant for the race that we were driving close to the speed limits in Australia a lot of times. That's 110 or 130 kilometers an hour. So a bit scary from time to time. And that experience, for me, that true raw power of solar energy was, looking backwards now, a big source of inspiration for the rest of my life. In that race, at the end we won the World Solar Challenge 2007, and some decisive factors were all about teamwork. The teamwork jointly solving problems. I was this morning together with Hans-Peter recalling that we already had the first technical problem right at the start. All the other cars drove away and we were stuck. So we had to solve the first problem on the spot and then overtaking 12 cars in the first hours. And that, all the teamwork during the race operations, strategy, there are so many disciplines and it all needs to come together. This for me was the inspiration to continue into solar energy, developing a new type of solar panel. And one of the big challenges was determining, being really sure about the output of that new solar panel. So I invented a new type of solar simulator to simulate sunlight and have a controlled test for the solar panels. And that became the company Eternal Sun that I founded in 2011. Have been growing over the past years. We're now with 60 people, and we built the solar simulators in our factory in The Hague. So everyone is always welcome in The Hague for a coffee. We're always looking for talented people to again work together as teams for solar energy. And the nice thing is, we were as partners still able to continue working with the Brunel solar team when we started testing the panels of the solar cars under our solar simulators. So testing, comparing different solar panel technologies with each other. In this test, we were even testing thermodynamic effects and light scattering effects on different type of laminates on, I think this was Nuna 8. So a really proud partner of the solar team. And also on behalf of the colleagues, I would like to wish the team all the best of luck and a great experience this year. So with that, I want to hand over the floor back to the team, to Huub and Evelien. Thank you.
Thank you, Stefan, for inviting us on stage and for giving us a broader explanation of the importance of our solar panel. This year, we knowingly committed ourselves to a 13-month project with a clear objective: to build a winning solar car, aiming for our 5th consecutive victory in the Sassel Solar Challenge. And as I reflect on the beginning, I realize I was a bit naive. of thinking it would just be an exciting adventure was an understatement. And as we delved deeper, it evolved beyond my initial expectations of thinking it would be a year with a predefined playbook to realizing that every decision is in our own hands, from creating our own planning to choosing our own technical projects. And I also did not imagine that there would be so many people and companies who would be willing to help us throughout this journey. Hans-Peter earlier described some few unique moments he encountered with earlier teams. Together with Jorrit, they have been with us for the past 20 years. And their joy, excitement, and of course, their memories really fuel the passion that's behind this team and making sure that we are willing to give more than 100%. And we want to thank them for their ongoing support throughout the entire year, and we are really looking forward to going to the race with them.
But in fact, almost everyone sitting here today has supported us for the past year. And I can say without a doubt that we would not be standing here if it wasn't for the support of our network. You see, racing a solar car is an extremely complex project, let alone building it. And therefore, we searched in every different area to find the right experts. Because for the first time this year, we have made our entirely new battery pack, an innovative solar panel, and our own electric motor. This year, we embraced the most ambitious projects this year than ever done before in a South African year. And these achievements would not have been possible if it wasn't for the support of our network. On the electromotor alone, we have had the pleasure of working together with over 9 different companies. All helped us in their own background, from delivering the best materials and knowledge to sheer manpower. And we would like to thank Brunel for their guidance and support this year. For you, it will be the second time joining us during the Cecil Solar Challenge in September. You have had the pleasure of celebrating our victory from last time. And I think we can both feel the pressure to bring back home the cup again this year. So in total, we have had the pleasure of working together with over 50 different companies, who all became part of the Nuna family. Together, we have shared unforgettable moments, from inspiring events like the Dream Career Day to opening our doors to the community of Delft, sharing our passion for innovation. We have embraced on new tools like Top Test Portal, streamlining our processes and making our work more efficient. We have embarked on R&D sessions with our partner Cupra in Barcelona, pushing the boundaries of creativity and collaboration. We have had the pleasure of come and talk about our team and our shared mission on numerous events that were organized by our partners. Again, we would like to thank you for all your support.
And just as partners have been a pillar of support, we want to thank all our alumni. They have been with us since the beginning of our year, from the earliest planning stages to where we are today, and they will keep supporting us in the upcoming months as well. Without their knowledge, expertise, and extra hands, we would not have been able to stand here today. We want to say that we are really glad for all you've done, and we are really looking forward to the upcoming months as well. And last but not least, we want to thank our friends, roommates, and our families. It's so nice to see so many of you here today, and we are really glad that the excitement that we had when we started this year has resonated with many of you as well. I personally want to thank my friends and roommates for their enthusiasm throughout the entire year and for safeguarding that leftover plate when I came home late for dinner. And I think I can speak for all our team members that the flexibility and care that you guys have provided us with has really meant a lot to all of us. And then our families. Your excitement, patience, and your ongoing support has really meant a lot to us, but also the reassuring words when doubts crept in. We want to say that we are really looking forward to the upcoming months, and that we are excited that we will see some of you at the finish line in Cape Town.
Yes, and to sum it all up, we have received tremendous support this year, and it was truly needed, because this year we have the opportunity to make history in the world by being the first team to win 5 consecutive titles in the Cecil Solar Challenge. To achieve this, we have evolved from a developing team, designing and building our solar car, to a high-performance racing team, racing our solar car. And we would like to thank our team coach, Mark Lammers. Thank you for your support this year. So you have heard Cato and Torben explain how we as a team function and what our challenge will look like in September. Hans-Peter has shared beautiful moments of this race, which we are about to create ourselves. Mark and Mart has shared the technical innovations this year. And after explaining how important everyone sitting here in this room has been to our team, it is now finally time to reveal to you what we have been working on for the past year. So, therefore, we present our
Nuna 12S.
Somewhere in a small Dutch town, an ambitious team has been working day and night on something special. It's fast. It's wise. It's resilient. It's undefeatable. It's a leader. And it's ready to fulfill a purpose far from here.
Wat leuk. Thank you. Well, it's incredible having you guys all here. And I can't be more proud of the car we have standing here today, and of course the wonderful team. We would like to invite you all to have some drinks with us at the bar. And later, you can come back and take a closer look at the car. We'll please have to ask you not to stand on the circle when you come take a closer look.
Yeah, and we would like to ask our main diamond and gold partners to take a picture with us on stage. We would like to do this as efficient as possible because I think everyone fancies a drink, at least we do. So we would like to ask you in the following order: Brunel, KLM, Inca, Cupra, and then Prime Vision. Also, the logos will be displayed on the screen. So for everyone, take a drink, and we will kindly and gladly tell some more afterwards.